This video was made possible by Mizizi International, the official African diaspora clothing brand. Visit mizizishop.com for more information. On Saturday, February 3, 2024, Senegalese President Macky Sall announced the abrupt postponement of the country's presidential election, originally set for February 25, 2024 to December 15, 2024, a move that has sparked significant controversy and raised concerns about democratic backsliding. President Sall cited irregularities in the candidate selection process as the main reason for the postponement, but the decision, made unilaterally before parliamentary approval and announced just weeks before the vote, was met with strong opposition. Protests erupted, met with force by security forces who fired tear gas and clashed with demonstrators. The unrest wasn't limited to the capital, Dakar, as tensions split over into other cities, with reports of property damage and injuries. This unforeseen postponement, shrouded in controversy and allegations of unconstitutionality, has plunged Senegal into political turmoil and raised fears of further violence, jeopardizing its hard-earned democratic reputation. And now, the West African bloc, ECOWAS, has waded into the controversy, asking Senegal to reverse the election delay that has caused an uproar. What did ECOWAS say exactly, and will the election delay be reversed? In today's video, we will shed more light on these questions and many more. Before we dive into our topic today, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channels and ringing the bell to be notified about all our exciting future videos. On Tuesday, February 6, 2024, West Africa's regional bloc, ECOWAS, released a statement imploring Senegalese authorities to hold the presidential election this month as scheduled instead of delaying it by 10 months till December. In the brief statement, ECOWAS said, "The Commission of the Economic Community of West African States follows with concern the unfolding situation in Senegal. It advises against any action or statement that may contravene the provisions of the country's constitution and reminds the population and the political class of their responsibility to maintain peace and stability in the country. The ECOWAS Commission encourages the political class to take steps urgently to restore the electoral calendar in accordance with the provisions of Senegal's constitution. In these trying times for the country and the region, the Commission calls on all stakeholders to shun violence and all other actions that may further disturb the peace and stability of the country. It urges the law enforcement agencies to exercise utmost restraint and protect the fundamental rights of all citizens. The ECOWAS Commission will continue to monitor the unfolding events and will take all necessary steps to support the government and people of Senegal in their efforts to sustain the country's democratic tradition," the statement concludes. ECOWAS' statement comes after President Sall, who has reached his two-term presidential limit, startled Senegal over the weekend when he announced that the February 25 election will be postponed immediately, citing issues over how some candidates were vetted. Analysts speculated that it was because the ruling party feared losing the vote. On Monday, February 5, 2024, Senegalese lawmakers convened in parliament to officially vote on a definite timeline for the postponement. The lawmakers were to decide whether to pass a bill to postpone the presidential elections to the end of the year in mid-December 2024. Opposition lawmakers attempted to block the bill to postpone the presidential elections, denouncing the proposed delay as a constitutional coup and an assault on democracy. But while these opposition lawmakers were protesting to block the voting process, security forces clad in riot gear stormed the legislative building and began ejecting them in droves. 3 opposition lawmakers were even subsequently arrested and detained for trying to block the vote. After the opposition lawmakers were ejected, the Senegalese parliament then voted to delay the West African nation's vote until December 15, 2024. forceful removal of opposition lawmakers by riot police in Senegal as they sought to block a bill postponing the presidential elections has triggered widespread criticism and raised concerns about the country's democratic trajectory. Many experts argue that the incident signals a disturbing shift towards authoritarianism, with Senegal potentially sinking into dictatorship. The unprecedented decision to delay the presidential election has also intensified skepticism. While the constitution allows the rescheduling of elections under specific circumstances, questions arise as to why President Macky Sall, scheduled to leave office in April 2024, is pushing for an extension. Very few people buy his justification for postponing the election and argue that his push for an extension is as an attempt by the ruling party to buy more time because it has been rattled due to strong challenges to its grip on power. Last year, President Sall dropped his contentious ambition for a third term as president before his Prime Minister, Amadou Ba, was chosen as the ruling party's candidate to succeed him. However, it has become more evident that Ba confronts a formidable opponent in opposition candidate Bassirou Diomaye Faye, who is supported by another popular opposition figure, Ousmane Sonko, and that he will struggle to win the presidency. What's more, Parliament's ratification of the postponement adds another layer of concern and threatens to jeopardize a democracy that has gained a reputation for political stability in a region rocked by coups and violent insurgencies in recent years. So, is ECOWAS's call for Senegal to reverse the postponement and hold elections in February as scheduled likely to yield any results? Many experts say the likelihood of Senegal adhering to ECOWAS's plea to reverse the presidential election delay appears highly improbable. The parliament has already voted in favor of postponing the election, signaling a firm commitment by the ruling party to extend the electoral timeline. Despite widespread protests within Senegal and international condemnation, including from ECOWAS, the government has shown little inclination to reconsider its decision. The internal dissent within Senegal itself seems to have fallen on deaf ears, suggesting a persistent determination by President Macky Sall's administration to proceed with the extended timeline. As the nation grapples with this political turmoil, it remains to be seen how this precarious situation in Senegal will continue to unfold, with potential implications for the country's democratic stability and regional standing. Your perspective matters. Do you agree with ECOWAS that Senegal should hold elections in February as scheduled instead of postponing it to December? Share your insights and thoughts in the comments below. For continued updates on global affairs and diplomatic developments, be sure to subscribe to the New Africa channel. Stay informed, stay engaged. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more insightful content in the future.